information never comes in snippets. Information is heavy.
Yes.
Information is long. And whenever you're trying to cut down information into a 30-second, 60-second reel, there you're running the risk of chopping down serious parts of it.
When speed gets rewarded and algorithms are taking over the digital media at least, how do long-form journalistic analytical content still remain relevant and discoverable?
I still believe that there will always be people for long form good content.
Between journalists, influencers, content creators are all blurring pretty fast. So where do you think we should draw the line between authentic storytelling and smart marketing?
Responsible people should come into digital journalism or content creation. If that happens, there will be a solid counter to these kind of productions which are all about views and stuff. If you're lying, it cannot be ethical. If you're lying in your headline, it's not ethical. If you're lying with your visuals, it's not ethical. If you're lying with your clickbait, it's not
Of course, not ethical. Yeah.
not ethical.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Another Dimension. I'm your host Dipanwita Gupta, and as always, this is the space where we dive into the crossroads of media, marketing and technology. Today's episode is a little special for me, for more than one reason. We are stepping into a world where storytelling meets journalism and journalism meets communication strategy. Secondly, I'll be interviewing a journalist who is usually on this side of the mic, so it's kind of a test for me. Join me in welcoming Arkamoy Datta Majumdar, a journalist, a person I have been, personally following and have admired a lot because of the work that he has been doing. He is a journalist, an assistant editor in a national magazine, a former television anchor, a political enthusiast, a writer, and above all, a storyteller who puts context and conscience into every narrative he builds. I wanted Arkamoy here today because he has seen the world of media evolve from the inside, from newsroom to the digital platforms. Today we'll talk about how storytelling is evolving in the age of algorithms, what authenticity means in the world of media today, and what marketers can learn from journalists about building credibility and impact. So let's dive deep into the conversation. Welcome to Another Dimension once again. Welcome on.
Hello, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. So let me start with something very simple and a little personal.
Okay.
What is the last story that you've worked on that has still stayed with you?
I think,
yeah.
For that matter, every story I work on stays with me because, I believe that's true for all journalists. Like, whatever story they work on, they put a part of their self into it. Because unless and until you live the story, you will not be able to represent it. It's always primarily about representing the story. Because you're bringing something to your reader which your reader is or probably not aware of completely. So to be truthful to your reader, to be honest to your reader, you need to have lived that story in some form or other, to be very honest. So I think whichever story we do, it stays with us.
That's great. Now, coming back to the subject, to start with the subject, I would like to know that just like marketing has moved from, ads and jingles to AI-driven targeting and reels, journalism has also changed a lot from depth to speed. What, according to you, if one or two changes that you have observed, witnessed over the years when you started your career versus now 2025?
Well, I have been associated with journalism in some form or the other for the last 11 years or more. So, to put context to your question, do we know how many people use the internet in India today? It's more than 100 billion people.
Yeah.
And in the context of Bengal, it's a little over 47 million people. So, if you have to reach the audience, if you have to make yourself heard or make yourself read, you cannot ignore the internet. You cannot ignore the social media platforms. You cannot ignore the mobile phone.
Yeah.
Because I have come across younger students of journalism who, when we would ask them, do you read the newspapers? The immediate answer is yes, on our phones. Well, initially, like being the orthodox kind of journalists we would be like, cannot be well informed through your phone. But then we started realizing it's more like artificial intelligence. When
Right.
it came, people were very scared of it. People would say that it would eat up your jobs. But whatever it may be, you cannot ignore it. So
True.
it's the same with this form of digital media. You may like it, you may not like it, but you cannot ignore it finally.
Right.
So as you asked, the evolution, I have been part of all three platforms, all three primary journalistic platforms available in India right now. With my good fortune, I have been part of print media. I have been part of the television. I have been part of the digital media.
Right.
And as you correctly put it, I think speed is very, very important right
Yeah.
now. All of our span of concentration is shrinking every day, and with that you cannot possibly accept people to go through long format documentaries every day, or read long pieces every day. So hence comes these reels and stuff. A very popular journalist of a very popular vernacular medium recently opened his social media, dedicated social media platforms on Instagram, on Facebook, and everywhere. So that tells us that whether you like it or not, you'll have to adapt to the digital platform, to the digital way of storytelling in some way or the other.
What is the objective there? I mean, does the objective still remain what was at the core of journalism, to disseminate knowledge, awareness, news, or is it the commercial part that is taking over?
Well, the commercial part has always been there. If we try to downgrade digital media by putting it the blame of them being too commercial, will probably not be very honest, because the pressure of being a commercially viable platform is on all forms of media.
True.
And well, it could be more in some cases, it could be less in some cases, but I think more than the commercial aspect, one angle of this commercial aspect has taken over the digital media more, which is the views. How many
Yes.
views are you garnering on a particular video, on a particular reel? And to do that, probably, and information never comes in snippets. Information is heavy,
Yes.
information is long. And whenever you're trying to cut down information into a 30-second, 60-second reel, there you're running the risk of chopping down serious parts of it. And when that happens, finally, what someone told you in an interview and what you're finally getting across to the audience, there might be a shadow
Shadow,
there.
yeah.
And that's very risky. And again, but then again, in terms of Bengal, if I get back to the data, of all the internet users in India, around 21-22% use Facebook.
Yeah.
But in Bengal, the number is very high. Around 57-58% of the internet users are on Facebook.
Okay.
Because there could be two reasons. One of the reasons is that Bengal is turning into a geriatric society, and hence people of that age bracket depend more on on Facebook than on Instagram and other platforms. There could be another understanding, which is that, Bengal, the people, the Bengali mass is a very, as we call in Bangla, a Tarkik Janagoshti, which that they are
Yeah.
very argumentative, as Mr.
Argumentative.
Amartya Sen had put it. So these argumentative people, they like reading long pieces. They like reading, analytical pieces.
Okay.
But that could not be very true for all the readers, all the people across the country. So there lies in a responsibility, to check that we are actually telling people what needs to be told, and not only being driven by the zeal to get views.
Right. Actually, that's exactly what I was coming to. I mean, in the age when speed gets rewarded and algorithms are taking over the digital media, at least, how do long form journalistic, analytical content still remain relevant and discoverable? That is more important. I mean, long form, great articles are being written, but are they still discoverable? Are they still being read?
See, I think long forms are here to stay. They will stay forever. Long form analytical articles will be here, have been here, and will be here forever. Because you still go to a theater, sit for 2 hours, and watch a film, right?
Yeah.
You still, many of the Bengali people, they still go to the Academy of Fine Arts on a Sunday to watch a like 3 hour long, with a very short interval, a play, a
Yes.
natok.
Not.
So long forms are here to stay. They will stay. I am more worried about the TV journalism, because that entire thing, I believe, in a few
Has
years
shifted to
will
digital.
completely shift to the digital platform. But you have to remember that even in the digital platform, there are platforms. There are sites. There are news websites. There are news portals which do cater to only people who read long forms.
Okay.
For instance, there are multiple, like, we in India, we read the New York Post on online. We read the Washington.
Daily.
I'm sorry, the New York Times and the Washington
Washington
Post.
Post.
We read it online. We read the New Yorker online. We read the Economist online. We read the Guardian online, and even we read Bangladesh's Prothom Alo online. And many of us do read these the online platforms which we have, like the Wire, the Print, and the Quint, to an extent. Even in Bangla, there are the leading news houses. They have their online platforms,
Yes.
which they use to cater to readers, not just viewers of reels or viewers of videos. They cater to readers. Even if you uh, let's forget about news websites for a moment. So we all have heard about the platform called Unfiltered, which is run by a fantastic guy called Samdish Bhatia.
Yes.
So Samdish's videos, we would know,
Are long videos.
yes, and they go beyond an hour or so. And even the recent interview of Mr. Amir Khan, there was an interview, it went over 5 hours, but people watched it. Probably not in a single go, but they came back and they watched it. It got several thousands of views. So I still believe that there will always be people for long form good content, even if it's reading, because books are never going out of fashion.
Okay.
They will be here forever. Same for newspapers. Well, probably you'll not be reading it on the paper anymore. You'll probably be reading
The
it.
device will be different.
Yes. The way you consume it might get different, but what you're consuming, I'm sure it will remain, it will stay. But I'm not very sure about the television media, because all of it is going the video format. I believe I see it, shifting completely to the digital format, to the phones and to the laptops.
Right. And you mentioned when you were talking about the long form content, there are digital platforms of big media houses, very renowned, very old newspapers. even they are churning a lot of content non-stop. You are one of the first journalists who have reached Bangladesh mass, the audience. Do readers, do audiences in India and also in Bangladesh, are they actually preferring this type of content? They are the ones who decide what kind of content to consume, or is it adding to the noise rather than
Well,
information?
both. I think it's both, because you'll be surprised to know how much these social media and Facebook influencers actually influence the people's mind in Bangladesh. Because during the 2024 uprising that happened in Bangladesh, two or three very key people sitting, they are Bangladeshi nationals, but they live outside. Some live in Paris, someone lives in America, or someone lives in London. They have millions of followers, and all of these people are Bangladeshis, mostly in Bangladesh or even outside, because
Outside.
Bangladesh has a huge diaspora.
True.
These people would continuously and regularly contribute towards the narrative that finally led to the uprising. So I think in my understanding, Bangladesh, the social media influence in Bangladesh is even sharper than in this side of the border. When I went there, I would see like almost all of them consume what is produced in India through their mobiles and stuff. And they would have an opinion about how the Indian media talks about them. And similarly, this part of the border, here also the digital platforms does give you an idea of what is happening on the other side. But as you asked, whether it has some relevance or is it just noise, I think it's both, because had the digital platform not been there, we would have not been able to understand what actually is happening anywhere across the world. But then again, it is very important for not only the person who's producing the content, but even for the person who's consuming the content to verify it. I mean, one might ask, how does the consumer verify the content? But you have to find your own ways. You'll have to verify the content, which nobody does. I mean, most people don't.
I must remind my audience that in another episode of Another Dimension, we had a very interesting conversation with another senior journalist, media personality, Mr. Joydeep Dashgupta, where we exactly spoke about this. I mean, the importance of fact checking on
Yes.
the information that is being disseminated,
Absolutely.
and what we are consuming as common readers. So it's the responsibility of the media house as well, right?
Absolutely. It is a two-way thing, and it has to work both ways. But then again, whom are we calling media houses here? That's very important. Like YouTube, whether you will categorize YouTubers as journalists, I use the example of Samdesh. Samdesh never calls himself a journalist. Even if someone refers to him as a journalist, as a patrakar, he refuses to be identified as one. He might have his own reasons, but then again, today in Bengal or in India, we have so many people talking and about so many things on the internet.
Yes.
Now, how do we believe all of them? We want to believe, like most people want to believe whatever they want to believe. Like it's kind of a wish fulfillment thing.
Yes.
I do not like a person, and if someone is abusing or accusing or downgrading or spewing poison about that person online, I tend to consume that immediately without verifying it. And I don't know if Joydipda has said this, but once he had taught me and some of my friends that a very easy way of identifying whether a photograph is fake or not is a simple Google reverse search.
Reverse search.
But
Yes.
nobody does that. People watch, and with the advent of artificial intelligence, the kind of videos that are being made
deepfakes,
every day, the
yeah.
deepfakes that are being made every day, it has become more important to identify what is the truth and what is not. And it is, of course, the responsibility of the media houses, I would say, the content producers here, but also I would urge the viewers, whenever you come across something on the internet, do not just blindly believe it. Check where is it coming from.
Be skeptical.
Be very skeptical. Be very
Okay.
skeptical. Try to not believe everything. Then pick and choose what looks believable, and then verify those. Like on Instagram, if you've come across a post on Instagram about something which has happened somewhere, try to look at the history of that page which has posted that piece of information.
Right.
Try to look at the bio of that page. Try to figure out whether this is coming from some kind of a vested interest point of view, or whether this is just for fun. Like several Instagram and Facebook pages are sarcasm pages, but whatever the post, people without checking what's the history of this page is, they believe whatever they are posting. Probably it's a sarcastic post. You're not supposed to believe it, but people want to believe it because it is talking something about someone whom I don't like.
And yes, which is some way aligned with your psychological
Absolutely.
construct.
Yes. So again, when we were kids, we were told that journalism has to be objective. Like even for the readers, you have to be objective about what you're reading.
Yeah.
Not just us. Objectivity is our religion, is the religion of a journalist, and that if we lose it, we have lost journalism completely. But even for the readers, for the viewers, objectivity is very important, because you do not like a certain or love a certain political identity, and whatever is written about it, you are believing it because it aligns with your sentiment towards that person. That
Yeah.
might be just a whole lot of lies,
Yeah.
and you don't know because you're liking it.
True. And this brings me something what I have been thinking about, like the line between journalists, influencers, content creators are all blurring pretty fast. So where do you think we should draw the line between authentic storytelling and smart marketing?
I think
Or let's say news reporting and content creation. Where to draw the line?
if the content creation is of the kind which is honest, which is theory based, not just theory based, which is data based, I don't think we should have a problem with it. But if the content creation is, even online trolls are considered to be journalists these days. Like a very recent incident which has happened, some person with a microphone went someplace asking for a group of people's identity cards amidst this SIR tension. Now, you can, of course, for the sake of your story, you can ask these people about whether they have been here, about authenticity.
Yes.
But you cannot ask to verify anybody's documents. That's not your job.
That's
You
not your
cannot
job.
do that.
And I mean, the question of ethics, I mean, that
Yes.
should never take a back seat.
But then again, because it will get you a lot of views, a lot of
Yeah.
people, even people like us who know that this is wrong, will go to the video and watch what is wrong in the video, and hence there will be another 1+1 views.
Yes.
So that, I don't know how this will be possible, but I think one of the ways of doing it, like more responsible people should come into digital journalism or content creation. If that happens, there will be a solid counter to to these kind of productions which are all about views and stuff.
Yeah. Now, let me come to something a little bit different. As a marketer, storytelling, communication is a very important part of our job. And I've been reading many stories written by you, and the headlines that you write, I must appreciate. There are, I mean, the hooks,
But
the
all
well-written
not all the headlines
headlines.
are my headlines.
Okay, okay. But do you make a conscious effort to make these headlines attention worthy? And how do you do it actually? If something a very boring topic, how do you make it attention worthy headlines?
It
Some
it is
trade secrets I know, but if you can
no,
share.
it's not a trade secret. It's like it that is how it works. We have always read and been taught that headline is the importance of headline. There should be a film called The Importance of Being a Headline, because most people would read your story only if your headline is good.
Absolutely.
I had the fortune of working at an organization where every day our editor was blowing away people's mind with the headlines he used to come up with. So unless and until you have a headline, your story, you might have a brilliant story. You might have the exclusive of the century, but you need people to read it. How will
Yeah.
people know that you have the exclusive of a century unless and until the hook that the headline is supposed to be is very, plain. So even for a magazine, we are always thinking for the cover story, what is it that is going to be on the cover, like what kind of picture, what kind of graphics, what do we say as the as the main headline of the magazine. So it's basic journalism that for the print, headline is very like for TV or for digital media, visuals
Very important.
talk.
Yeah.
The visual is the the
The most
king.
important.
It's
Yeah.
the king.
It's
Visual
the
is the
king.
king in
Yes.
TV. For print, the headline is almost the king. And I did a story a few days back about how young women are being lured through matrimony websites.
Love, loot, and
Yes,
yes.
the
Yeah.
headline was "Love, Loot, and Log Out." So that headline would attract eyeballs,
Yes.
and then people would go to read. So headline has always it's basic journalistic grammar. Headline is very important.
Right. And so tell me honestly about the clickbaits. I mean, nowadays clickbait headlines are, I mean, that's talk of the town. And do they really work, or they're just guilty pleasures that, ruin credibility and maybe sometimes backfire too?
See, I think for clickbaits, if it had served the purpose of a headline only, that would have been fine, because headline is also a kind of a print clickbait. Like you come across a headline, you get interested, you read the story. The clickbait is supposed to do the same thing, but several times you put a question mark at the end of a clickbait. Like, does he said this, hence, does it mean this? So probably the person who was interviewed, had never meant any of this. But the clickbait question makes it sound like that he has meant to say something. And the person and the readers would go, oh, he said this. And then the reader would, without verifying, without reading the entire story, just with through the from the clickbait, would presume that this person had actually said this, would overlook the question mark, and then spread the news that this guy had said this. I saw it online.
Maybe he
So
hasn't read the story at all.
yes,
Yeah.
so that's the problem with clickbaits.
And we the marketers, we have adopted clickbaits like, lapped it up. I mean, so that's what I wanted to know, that is it also a part of ethical journalism?
Yeah, as long your
Yeah.
clickbait is ethical, I think it's ethical journalism. I mean, the clickbait has to be honest. If it's honest, I don't find it anything wrong with the ethics there. But again, if you're lying, cannot be ethical. If you're lying in your headline, it's not ethical. If you're lying with your visuals, it's not ethical. If you're lying with your clickbait, it's not
Of course, not ethical. Yeah.
not ethical. So it's again, if the force of content creators who can spread fake news is so strong that we need honest content creators to jump into the bandwagon and start countering whatever this fake news is being propagated.
Right.
We cannot ignore the platform. We have to be there.
The counter narrative has to be established.
We just cannot sit back at our homes and he's lying. So let him lie. We cannot do that. Because if, as a journalist, there is a social responsibility as well.
Yes.
So you cannot ignore it. You have to be there.
And coming to the very obvious question, how has AI impacted the world of journalism, the world of media?
Well, it has, like AI has, like everything, like the internet, the social media, even the AI has its pros and cons. It has, of course, simplified a lot of things. And, but then again, it has also made things way more dangerous. These days, you would see people copying the cards of several popular news channels,
Yes.
and they would just replace whatever was written on the card with whatever they want to be written on the card, and they would spread it as if this actually came from the news channel or from the news media house. That's a very basic form of AI. People are making videos, AI videos, and trying to defame someone or trying to popularize something.
Yes.
They are making flood videos, fire videos, accident videos, and they're putting it on social media and with hashtags like this happened here, and nobody will verify. People will just share that, with that again, that zeal to get views and be popular online. People are doing whatever they want to, but then again, AI also has
Its own advantages.
its own advantages.
Yeah.
People use it to make graphics on the print look far better,
Right.
and they are using it to you know make the grammar, I mean the piece grammatically error free.
Error free. Yeah.
So it has several better uses, it has several bad uses, like all things in life. Then, and hence again coming back to the point I've been trying to make, that there has to be a counter force to this fake news factory.
Right. We are almost towards the end of our conversation. I would like to ask, when senior journalists like Faye D'Souza launched their independent news platforms on social media, do you see that as an organic extension of their journalistic form, or is it more of a smart marketing to garner more reach, more engagement, and revenue as well?
Even if it's a smart marketing tool, what's the harm? I don't think it's anything wrong. Even if it's smart marketing, it's hats off to them. They're doing great job. Not just Faye, Mr. Ravish Kumar is doing a fantastic job. He has broken all records when he came to YouTube. And then also, to answer your question, I think this is also just an organic extension, because, as I said, you cannot ignore the digital platform. People like the names you named, these heavyweight, senior, trustworthy, credible journalists make the social media, the online platform, bearable, durable, and
That is also
long standing. If these people were not there, it would have been flooded by fake news and propaganda.
Yeah.
So there has to be a force. Again, coming back to the same point, I'm just repeating myself, but I think it's very important in today's times. We cannot ignore this platform. We cannot ignore the digital world. We cannot ignore artificial intelligence, and hence it is only better for us for the readers and for the society at large, for responsible, credible people to participate in this whole world.
Do you see yourself exploring that path anytime soon?
I don't know. I'm happy what I'm doing right now. Let's see. I'm more than happy in what I do. So I'm not very sure at the moment.
No content creation plan?
I don't think so. I'm happy creating content for the people I work for, and I'm happy writing at the moment.
Great. And before we wrap up, I have a small request. I promise it will not be related to journalism or marketing or technology this time. You have known to be quite the storyteller, but I've also heard that you enjoy singing. So, how about a quick line or two?
This was not
in
part of the.
Bangla gan holeo cholbe, but something for our listeners, audience.
This was his idea?
No.
This is your idea?
Yes.
Okay. What do I sing?
Take your time.
Okay, there's one song I sing everywhere. I think that would be good. I mean that I'll go with that one.
Sure.
দেখো ভালো জনে রইলো ভাঙা ঘরে, আর মন্দ দেশের সিংহাসনে চড়ে। দেখো সোনার ফসল ফলায় যে তার দুই বেলা জোটে না আহার, হীরার খনির মজুর হয়েও কানা করি নাই। ও ভাই হীরার খনির মজুর হয়েও কানা করি নাই। ওরে ভাই রে, ওরে ভাই রে, ভাই রে, কতই রঙ্গ দেখি দুনিয়ায়। ওরে ভাই রে, ও ভাই, কতই রঙ্গ দেখি দুনিয়ায়।
Thank you so much, Arka, for coming to my show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yes. And for my audience, if you like this episode, please do not forget to follow and subscribe to our channel. See you in our next episode. Till then, bye-bye.